pitch for You Make It. My name is Roxy Jahanshahi, and I'm the Programs Manager at what is the most inspiring young people's organisation that I have ever worked at. And I've worked for a fair few, so you can take my judgment on that. So You Make It is a holistic self-empowerment programme for young, marginalised, unemployed and underemployed young women from Hackney and Tower Hamlets to become active in the social, cultural and economic life of the city. It was first established as a funding-free pilot in 2011 by our founding CEO, Asma Shah, a local East End resident who had overcome many struggles in her life, similar to those of our women that we work with, to find her earning and living potential. And I've also overcome a lot to find myself in a career that's both meaningful and successful. And I think that's why our project works. We understand what women are coming from, we know what works for them, we resonate with them, we care for them, and they really recognise this. So our work recognises and addresses issues of unemployment and low-paid underemployment amongst women who have been thrown off track in life due to multiple issues. So these can include neglect, abuse, being single mothers with little support, isolation, mental health issues, the list goes on, but also a lack of work experience and often a lack of qualifications. And these women have actually been made to feel like numbers and economic problems rather than talented women who just need the space and the support to figure out what they want to do in their lives. They also live in a part of East London that is rapidly changing, undergoing regeneration and gentrification. So while there are these really amazing growing opportunities coming up and new creative businesses, they don't feel a part of the change. Instead, they feel left out and locked out of opportunities within their own cities. Now, for some context. So the national unemployment rate sits at about 12.4%, and for young people in London, it is higher at 17.9%. 10% of those are women, and 30% of those come from black and minority ethnic backgrounds. So there's kind of a disproportionate rise when it comes to black and minority ethnic people. And so while there's also kind of a lowering of unemployment and youth unemployment, we have seen a real shift into lots of underemployed women. So those who are coming to us with 0-hour contracts, those who are in jobs that just don't satisfy them, but just there to pay the bills as they're going. And that's a real issue that we see. So what we do is we work with women in an extremely holistic way, from the inside and out, and we get them to understand the importance of their individual health and well-being, both physically and mentally. So here's some quotes from some of the women who've been on the programme and some faces for you to see. We're not a faceless organisation at all. So we help them understand the importance of their individual health and well-being, both physically and mentally. We meet them at job centres for the most part, consult with them about their hopes, what they've been through, and what's holding them back. And what we do is we help them devise plans to get to where they want to get to. We've got really strong referral systems, so we get them the support in those areas around mental health or housing and whatever it is, so they have a stable sense of mind to focus on their careers. On the programme, each woman accesses 6 months of one-to-one mentoring with nurturing and network professionals, 14 half-day weekly workshops at really exciting creative, cultural and city venues, 2 to 4 week-long expenses or fully paid work placements, some startup experience for those who've got business ideas at trading places, a market stalls project, and a business pitch competition called Ladies' Den. It all culminates in a really exciting graduation celebration event at the end of the 6 months. So the programme facilitates a sisterhood. Women come to us often lonely and sometimes friendless, but they leave having journeyed with 24 women just like them and continue to encourage and support each other. We also introduce women to what is the start of a long-term professional network that they can rely on and really build on as they progress beyond the programme. So it's not just about being with us, it's about their futures. We also create amongst our beneficiaries a strong sense of a right to the city. So entrants on our programme emerge from it with relationships to wonderful creative and cultural people and organisations. So London is no longer a city that they feel marginalised in. It's one that is theirs and one they feel proud of and excited by. Now, it's all talk until you hear the stats, right? So here are our stats. So it's uncommon when working with people who've got such complicated lives that they can commit to a 6-month programme that works in the depth that we do, and believe me, we go deep. But we're really proud to have a 92% retention rate, and within 6 months of completing the programme, 82% of our graduates go into employment, return to higher education, or go on to develop their own startups, and that's really great. But it doesn't stop there. 78% feel more able to achieve their future goals, 89% feel more able to recognise their own skills, and 89% feel they've got bigger professional networks. And the best part actually is that most of them might start the program feeling unhappy or depressed, but 95% report leaving us feeling happier. Now, how can you get involved in what we do? As of 2016, we've doubled our outputs. We work with 50 women a year. We work tirelessly. We put everything into this. So we've got loads of women who want to get far in life. £6,000 from yourselves will help us fund a freelance pastoral care worker for 12 months. They'll get support for our participants around mental health, advocacy, well-being and welfare. And this new addition will prevent our small but extremely dedicated and extremely passionate team from burning out, which is probably rock bottom in any organisation. And we want to make sure that delivery continues to be successful. It will also allow our amazing CEO to finally start working on scoping our new pilot for young men, creating more impact rather than having to sit down and help with our referrals for mental health support. And every £500 raised over our £6,000 target, for those of you who've got bigger pockets today, will allow us to continue to support for another month. You could also support our work by donating old laptops for participants who don't have access to computers, providing work placements, being a mentor or being a business coach, and any kind of support is much welcomed. Thank you for your time. Any questions are most welcome. And I do have a beneficiary with me tonight, so it's not just me. And she is here to answer any questions that you do have. Thank you.